Hey, what's going on everybody? Mitch here, and today's video is a video I originally uploaded and created for my standard issue YouTube channel. Now that channel is going to have some changes going on. If you're interested, I'll include some more details about that at the very end. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like the Weapon War series, this is something more down that alley. It's comparing Squad's version of the M-ATV to the reality version, the real version of the M-ATV, the real life M-ATV. It's a vehicle I have a little bit of experience with. Overseas in Afghanistan, had a lot of experience and opportunity to be in many different types of MRAPs, including the M-ATVs. So I, take some of that real world experience and look at Squad's version and just compare it a little bit. But like I said, at the end of the video, I'll be talking about standard issues. So if you're not interested in that, please enjoy this video. Did the video game Squad get their new M-ATV correct?
Now, if you don't know what a M-ATV is, stay with me here because there's going to be a lot of acronyms. A M-ATV is a MRAP class vehicle, which is a mine-resistant, ambush-protected vehicle. So, that's what the M in M-ATV stands for. The ATV stands for all-terrain vehicle, just like civilian use. Even though the M-ATV only started production in 2009, the replacement is already on the horizon, with Oshkosh's LATV, or Light Combat Tactical All-Terrain Vehicle. This is supposed to be a more nimble MRAP that could potentially replace more roles that the Humvee currently performs. Now let's go ahead and hop in the game. Once again, this is Squad. It's an early development game, currently in the alpha stages. Now it is pretty far along in the alpha stages. It has many features that you don't find in many military simulators. Even though this game doesn't claim to be a military simulator, it's probably one of the more accurate representing military features and systems than anything else, except for maybe like an Arma, which is not fair because Arma is basically a military platform downgraded for civilian use. But what we've come here today on Squad's firing range map is to look at this guy over here. I took a nice little lap. We're not looking at the porta potties, we're gonna look at this guy. This is their in-game representation of the M-ATV. And from just about looking at the model, they did a very good job at modeling this vehicle for the most part. You have the boomerang system here, telling you where you're taking fire from. I don't believe it's modeled in the game, but it's shown as a physical model. You have your standard antennas, obviously. And you also have your antennas for your like Duke system, your jammers. So that's very cool. Also, things like the floodlights are modeled onto the vehicle. You have the crow system. Usually this area is covered up by something, but that's not wrong. It's not the end of the world that that's open like that. Let's go ahead and hop in the vehicle and see what it looks like in the inside. Well, let's not lean. Alright, here we are in the driver's seat. Looks like we got our standard military gauges and dials. We have our push button gear select, which is very correct. Very bare bones, similar to a real M-ATV. I haven't seen a BFT, which I'm imagining that is. Let me see if I can get in that seat. I'm imagining this is supposed to be a Blue Force tracker. Haven't seen one set up like that. Usually it's hard mounted in this area. And this is one thing I don't like, is ammunition is really never stored in an MRAP like this. It is strapped down very securely because an MRAP, once again, is a mine-resistant, ambush-protected vehicle. If an IED goes off, the vehicle might be protected, but it's still going to be moving around and jostling. And I've heard of people being hurt or even killed by objects inside of the vehicle when they're not secured. So everyone is very conscious about making sure everything's strapped down very secure. There's bungee cords everywhere, and it's craziness. Let's go ahead and go to the back here. Oh, so now we're in the crow system. Very cool. Got a nice 50 cal. And it's very similar. It's clipping a little bit into the model, but it's okay. Very similar to what the real system is like. I can't fault them, and I'm pretty sure it's a government secret. You're not supposed to design it exactly the way it is, so I think that's good enough the way it is. Alright, so here we are in the backseat of the M-ATV in squad, and it's pretty bare bones like it really is in a M-ATV, although there's probably a lot more leg room than there really is, and I'm a short man, and I didn't have any leg room, so I know this virtual soldier should be struggling. Once again, this is not strapped down, which is a little pet peeve of mine, but it's okay, it's a video game. One thing I do notice, as you can see up there, there's a fire suppression or a hail-on system. There should be one back here as well. There's always one mounted on the back wall, generally. So as far as the interior goes, it gives you a pretty accurate feel of what the interior is. It gives you the cliff notes of the interior, really. Now that was the interior, and it looked pretty good for the most part. But what I'm curious of, they didn't really get the inflation system in there. So let's see if they got the V-shaped hull, which is another unique feature of MRAPs that helps protect it from IEDs. Okay, so it looks like the hull does have a V shape to it. It does come to a flat, a pretty hard flat, which I don't believe it does. I think it continues to be a V and then, goes back up. And it's a similar principle as, the famous T-34 armor, fighting the Russian armor fighting German tanks. It was slanted at such an angle that even though the German shells are a lot bigger, they can't penetrate, they just bounce. And that's the goal of the V-shaped hull, is to make sure the IED doesn't have a way to penetrate, it just deflects. So that is very interesting there. Let's see how this bad boy drives. Kinda sounds like an MRAP. Don't know where I'm taking it. Taking it somewhere where it says no entry, so I don't know. Now this is a video game and I'm using a keyboard, so. Ooh boy, it is an all-terrain vehicle. This should be no problem, I think. Well, I don't know what I'm crawling, to be honest. Oh man. The M-ATV shouldn't have any issue with that. Okay, so it's not exactly as all-terrain as it is in reality. Well, there we go. It's not too bad. It struggles a little bit. Okay. It's very tall, like it is in reality as well. Can't go under signs. She definitely struggles going up hills and things like that, which, I mean, it is a beefy vehicle. It does have a top speed of only 65 miles per hour. But when you're driving one, they don't seem that slow. They're fairly nimble. They're still pretty top-heavy vehicles, but they're pretty tight in the steering usually. This one seems a little bit more floaty, kind of closer to the bigger MRAPs like the Buffaloes and things like that. It got the general feel of an MRAP down. I wouldn't say it got it specifically right for the M-ATV. Here's some bumps. They handled those pretty well. But I would say not quite right for the M-ATV, but very good for an MRAP. If they were doing like a generalization of an MRAP, I think they nailed it. Alright, so now we're on a different map on Squad, and we're going to test to see how mine resistant the M-ATV is compared to the standard Humvee. And we got a nice little IED here, if you can call it nice. We'll go ahead and plan it, and we'll test this out. Let's go ahead and we'll bury this guy a little bit here. Alright, and there we go. It'll be a direct hit on the M-ATV. Let's back up here so we don't die from our own explosion. And let's see what happens. We don't want to shoot it. There we go. Take a crouch and let's make the call. Pretty impressive explosion. The M-ATV is on fire. It does still operate. Okay. Okay, so it wasn't a complete destruction. It was, you know, it seems pretty accurate. It will kind of disable the vehicle, and the crew survived on to live another day. Alright, so now we have a standard up-armored Humvee, and let's see how it does compared to the M-ATV counterpart versus an IED. Go ahead and bury this one so it's an equal test. I don't think the burying makes any difference in terms of the explosion in this game, but we'll do it anyways. Right there. I think we should be good. There we are. Let's back up once again. Go ahead and pull out our handy dandy phone. And let's make the call. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Whoop, never mind. I take that back. Okay. So the M-ATV is more protected than the Humvee. That is very accurate. Okay. Oh, wow. I did not expect that. I almost killed myself in the game. There you go. The Humvee is destroyed by the same IED. Very interesting. Well, there you have it. Squad's version of the M-ATV. I would say it pretty accurately represents the M-ATV, but more so I think they got the whole general feel of the M-RAP family down with this vehicle. It may look like a M-ATV, and maybe it should perform as the M-ATV does specifically and have its characteristics, but I think they represented the whole M-RAP family here very well. It gives you a good idea of what an M-RAP is like, and obviously you saw it is more mine resistant than the standard Humvee in this game, so therefore they did a pretty accurate job, I have to say. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said in the intro, this video was originally uploaded to the Standard Issue YouTube channel, another channel I run. A channel that I originally created to answer military questions and address topics related to military things, and also look at how the military is portrayed in pop culture like video games or movies. Well, I was really smart and I came up with this idea around the same time the whole adpocalypse thing was going on. Even though it's called adpocalypse and is a goofy ass name for something, it is really real to YouTube and really real to a lot of creators, and YouTube is taking a lot of real steps to counter this, you know, image that YouTube has cultivated to some brands. And understandably so, one of these steps is to combat violence on YouTube. Even on this channel, you'd be surprised how many videos I have to request them not to consider non-advertiser friendly just because of the topics the video games I play cover, which is a lot of war games. And unfortunately, Standard Issue YouTube channel, pretty much every video includes the word military in it, which basically seems like an instant red flag. Often talk about war and history, and a lot of those topics are considered sensitive to YouTube, even though I don't believe they should be. But unfortunately, I'm very low on the YouTube ladder, so my opinion doesn't matter too much. And because of that, and the fact that I would like to produce higher quality content in the future, I'm suspending the Standard Issue YouTube channel, suspending uploading videos to it for now. The hope and dream is still there of wanting to make educational military content, but it doesn't seem like to be the right time right now. I've always tried to continue to upgrade my channels and my videos. I hope you guys see that and hear it. You know, next thing I probably upgrade is my microphone. Already added a green screen.
So we're just getting fancy around here. But currently the standard issue YouTube channel is in hiatus until we get into a little bit better situation, either video content wise or the state of YouTube wise. And if you stuck around to hear this explanation, I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you're interested in what I have going on, and your feedback really matters to me. I would like to still make video content like you saw today on this channel in the meantime. So it's probably going to be more leaning to video games and comparisons like Weapon Wars and like this. But like I said, I want to hear you guys' feedback. What do you guys want to see? I know a lot of y'all originally subscribed when I started making Weapon Wars, so feedback is very valuable and I am listening. But once again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and until next time, have a great one. Later.